What's going on? Thanks for tuning in to today's video. I have two brand new Black Series figure reviews coming at you today. And I got Padme Amidala from The Phantom Menace and also Anakin Skywalker. These are really two long awaited, wanted figures. I remember when they were first pipelined, I was super stoked. And they look pretty awesome. I do wish that Padme came with her, the kind of more Tatooine vibe, kind of like more beige looking type dress, a little more earthy looking. She wears that for more of the movie than this costume, but this costume still looks great. The figure looks great. It doesn't look totally like Natalie Portman, but it's decent. It's close enough for me. This also doesn't look tremendously like Jake Lloyd. The likeness is just eh. But I know who that. I know who it's supposed to be, and for me, it's good enough. It looks like a young Anakin to me, a little Annie, if you will. Give you a little quick view of the art here, and the art is actually really beautiful. And this is gorgeous. That looks just like Natalie Portman. That just doesn't really. That kind of looks like Jake a little bit. Not too bad, but I prefer my woman a little more on the thicker side. Natalie Portman's a little more petite, but she's a beautiful woman. And anybody who was a kid growing up watching The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, that was me and my brother's like kid crush, if you will. When we were kids, she was one of our big crushes when we were younger, young boys and whatnot. But really great art on here. A little quick bio of the back. You can pause that and give it a little read if you'd like. Bring that in and get it focused for y'all. Get a good look at the art. Some really nice art here, especially Padme. That is beautiful art. I really love this kind of like orangish yellow for. It's just the side view of the box. I like this orangish yellow color. It kind of matches the Clone Wars, but the Clone Wars is a little bit more yellow. But I like this color a lot. I feel like it matches the vibe of Phantom Menace. But let me get these figures open, and we'll take a closer look at them. And here's Padme and Anakin out of the box, and these figures just look wicked, man. I'm so happy to finally be seeing some Phantom Menace love from Hasbro, because there's so many other figures and so many other lines from the Mandalorian or Bad Batch or any other, like the Kenobi line. There's so many figures in these other lines, and there's so many other movies and other Star Wars media that we don't really have a whole lot of characters representation for. So I'm super stoked to finally have these figures in the Black Series. Give this box a little spin for y'all real quick so y'all can see front and back of the figure. And the paint on these figures is a little non-existent, but still not bad at the same time. Very nice detail on Padme's kind of robes here. This hard plastic, it looks very nice. The softer plastic doesn't inhibit her leg movement too much. Decent articulation in the arms, even though they're both kind of wearing like long-sleeved robe, kind of thicker type fabric and whatnot, but pretty decent articulation. And like I said, the likeness isn't super impressive to me. I would have liked to have seen little Annie look a little more like Jake Floyd, but the Padme figure isn't all that bad. That looks more like Natalie Portman to me than the Anakin looks like Jake Lloyd, in my opinion. But I feel like, honestly, getting like a brown wash or a black wash, I feel like Anakin's costume could really use a little bit of dirtying up. It just looks too clean to be on Tatooine. I like the color, like the kind of khaki brown or beige, more so, not even really khaki. It's just a little too light for me. I feel like it needs to. I mean, Anakin was a slave. He was working in Watto's shop. Like he's dirty, got oil on him, like on a dusty desert planet. Like I just feel like his robes would be a little more dingier than this. It looks a little too clean. Padme's costume, it looks perfect. It looks dead on, nail on the head of what it looked like at the hallway Naboo battle scene towards the end of Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are fighting Maul and they're trying to, basically get to the Separatist leaders and shit. But the costume looks really great. It comes with some accessories that I'll show you in just a second. But I am super pleased to finally be getting some Episode 1 love. And hopefully, like, what I really want to do is get an Episode 1 Obi-Wan, get me a Phantom Menace Darth Maul, which actually there's actually a rumor. There's a rumor going around for a re-release of the Phantom Menace version of Darth Maul with, he's still got his legs, of course, but he's in his darker Sith assassin robes and whatnot. and they're going to be retooled, brand new. So I'm super excited. That's the only Maul I don't have in my collection. I have all three other Mauls, but let me quit babbling on. I'll show you all the accessories and the paint, articulation, and sculpt, and all that good stuff. I figured since Anakin is the small figure, I'm gonna try to run through both of these quicker since this is going to be a 2-in-1 figure review. But here's a look at Anakin's backpack. Could have stood to use a little bit of dry brushing with like some brown or like some yellow to represent some sand, maybe a little more weathering, a little more paint on that would have been nice. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Nothing crazy. Simple backpack, and it does strap on him pretty well. Getting a look at Anakin himself real quick. Let's get this focus for y'all. All right, so real quick articulation, and I'll show you all the paint. He can get his arms into almost a T. It's more like a I don't know what you'd call that, but can't really get his arm. There we go. Just a little needed to force it. I was about to say it was really stiff. So you get a good full T, good bend at the arm, get 90 degrees. There's swivel at the elbow. Arms do spin 360 degrees. Here's a horizontal hinge. I'm sorry, a vertical hinge on the right hand and a horizontal hinge on the left. He's got a little bit of ab crunch, not a whole lot. Some side to side. It's got a little bit of head tilt, so you get a little bit of expression out of there. That's nice. He can look up about that far. He can look down. Pretty good head articulation. He can kick out right in front of him. His robe is a softer plastic, so he can kick out no problem. He's got pretty good range of kickback here, actually. And he can get a bend slightly below 90 degrees there at the knee. There's also swivel. Get down to the feet here. He can go down about that far. They can go up. Not really a whole lot. Just runs into the sculpt here, the wrapping around his pants here. Kind of butts up. But there is rockers or ankle swivel. It's really tight right here. And I'm not going to get a whole lot of ankle swivel just because of the way that this is sculpted right here. It'll butt up into his wrappings on his legs here on his shins. But real quick rundown of the articulation. Now I'll show y'all some of the paint. And here, look at this beautiful dark wash we have on Anakin's hair. This is what we need back in the Black series. Just really helps bring out all the little fine lines and details and the grooves of his hair. And just really shows off the sculpting. They put a lot of time into making these molds, and this paint just accentuates that. Very good sculpting on this hair. There's something about a dark wash that just makes a figure feel more real. Try to bring that down a little bit, give y'all a close-up of his face here. Really good photo reel. Looks pretty good. It doesn't look extremely like Jake Lloyd to me. I don't know. Now that I have it in hand, it's kind of... His face is starting to kind of appear to me now. I'm starting to see... The more and more I look at it, the more and more I'm seeing Jake Lloyd. But the eyes are very nice right there. Got his little necklace under there. It's supposed to imitate. Got some nice kind of like bronze gold paint right here. Me and my brother had so many Anakin action figures growing up, especially kid and like young Anakin, because when we were little, we wanted to be Anakin, man. Got some nice pouches right there on the back, some nice sculpting. Very nice. And even the robe has got some nice sculpting. You can see the folds in here, the way that the light is hitting it. All the creases. It looks very lifelike. Very good. Got some nice wrapping around his ankles here. His shins, I should say. His calves. But yeah, really, really awesome figure, man. I'm super happy to finally have a young Anakin in the Black series, man. So freaking cool. Getting on to Padme's. My big sausage fingers. Don't mind if my nails are dirty. Don't mind it. It's just I just got off work. But we have her like Naboo Defender pistol here, cast in a very light gray silver plastic, and it looks really nice. Nothing too fancy, too crazy. Then right here we have like her Naboo Guard blaster, and I don't know. This is a blaster I don't really know well or have memorized, but I do really like the way it looks. I love the sculpt. Got some brown paint here on the grip, and almost looks like a little bit of silver paint here on the top. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. This is some silver paint because the barrel and the rest of the mechanism with the blaster is like a darker gray, and the actual scope on here is silver. So that's nice. Getting some paint. Seems like Hasbro's been a little stingy on paint here lately. And of course, that being this Naboo blaster, Naboo guard blaster being a little bit thicker than this little Naboo Defender pistol. She actually comes with an alternate hand, which is also cool to see again. Black Series has kind of been getting away from that too. But it's a smaller grip, so she can actually hold on to that smaller pistol. So that's pretty cool. And now, getting on to the Queen herself. Get this right in here. All right, quick view of articulation real quick. A lot of head articulation here in Padme. So probably some of the best head articulation I've actually ever seen in the Black Series. You can get really good expression out of her. But she can look up a lot. She can also look down a really fair amount. Have that double ball peg. There's a little ball joint down here in the base of the neck and the base of the skull here at the neck. So that allows for a lot of good movement. Here we can get her into a nice full T, or about a full T, not too bad. Here at the arm, we can get slightly below 90. Scoot Anakin out of the way. Slightly below 90 there. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is. Swivel at the elbow. Got like kind of a ball hinge here in the shoulders. Pretty typical. And got a horizontal hinge here on the right hand with the trigger finger, or not, kind of like not even really a trigger finger, but like a grasp figure. Sorry, I can't speak. My brain's a little fried from work today. And a horizontal hinge here on the left hand. Getting down here to her legs, she can kick out right in front of her. This soft plastic doesn't inhibit her articulation at all. She's got a fair amount of kickback. Just the skirt kind of gets in the way, but she's got a lot of kickback actually. You just fold that skirt back. And getting down to the legs, she can get way below 90, not way below, but below 90, slightly below 90. Swivel at the knee. Here at her feet, she can point her toes down that far. She can bring them up, not really a whole lot. Sculpting. And there is ankle pivot or swivel. And she's got a little bit of ab crunch here, right here at the waist. She can hunch over about that far, and she can look back a fair amount too. Not too bad. Now getting down here to the paint, let's get a closer look at the Queen here. And the photo reel looks pretty good. Not bad at all. This looks very much like these figures are weird. When I was looking at them in the box, I was like, I'm not impressed. But the more I have them in hand, like the more I'm starting to see it, dude. But pretty decent likeness to Natalie Portman. The eyes are very, very nicely done. I really like the sculpting on the hair here. Like I love this bun. It's something very iconic in Star Wars. The first three movies is freaking Padme's hair. The one thing that's kind of weird is when the promo pics first came out for Padme, her forehead was looking like her hairline was kind of receding. Feels like they had to kind of fix that with some paint here. I don't know what exactly that is. Because you can kind of see where her hair stops and this brown line kind of comes in to kind of fix her hairline to make it more round, make it fit her face better, but it works. It's a small little detail that you don't really notice further on the way on the shelf, and depending on how you pose her, you won't be able to notice it that well. I can look over it. No big deal to me. But I really like this sculpting on the hair is very nice. Let's just take a little moment to check that out. Very nice. Here, this gold here on her robe is just beautiful, dude. The detail in there, the sculpting detail, beautiful, beautiful work. And that gold just really, really shines against this kind of like, I don't know, it's not really burgundy. It's like purplish, not periwinkle. This is a very weird color, but the gold and both the colors contrast very well together. Goes up around her shoulders here, kind of like the trim of her shoulder. Sorry, there we go. So I was looking off camera for a minute. Goes down both sides. She's got a little bit of silver paint here on her buckle. This keeps unfocusing for some reason. But not a whole lot of paint on this figure. There is which is pretty nice to see. There's some weather in here, some little bit of mud or dirt here on her boots. The only thing that's dumb is they put it on the front, right? Let me get this. Why does it keep on focusing? Sorry, y'all. So you see that the weathering on there looks pretty good. He brings some reality to the figure. Let's not put any on the back, Hasbro said. That's too much. Let's just weather the front of the feet, because the front of her feet are going to get dirty, not the back. In a sense, I guess that is kind of true, but I would have liked to have seen the dirt and the mud all the way around her boots, like have it surround, but it kind of just stops towards the front. But what a small little nitpick, but really, really great figure. Good representation to finally have her. Not the costume I prefer, but it's a cool costume nonetheless. And to get Anakin's backpack on here, you just fold his arms back and he kind of just puts them through, and boom, he's got it on just like that. And boom, Anakin's got his backpack on. He's ready to fly to Coruscant with Padme, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon. Looks great, dude. And I actually watched Matt Bryant. He's a fellow YouTuber and Black Series collector. I watched his review on these two figures, and he shows a good way to get this backpack on. You just want to pull his arms way back, and makes it way easier to slip on. So shout out to Matt Bryant, and go check out his channel. Really, really good, cool look. No, I don't know him, but really seems like a really great guy. Really cool, very knowledgeable about the Black Series, and I enjoy his content and his videos. So check him out. Starting off with the side-by-side comparisons here. In between Anakin and Padme, I have C-3PO. Now, like I said earlier in my review, I don't have the Phantom Menace version of Maul, but I do have the other three versions. So here's Season 7 Clone Wars version of Maul. One of my favorite, if not my favorite figure in the entire Black Series. Here's the Gaming Greats version of Old Master Maul. Yo, and look at this. Look how dope this freaking looks, man. Between Anakin and Padme now, I have the one and only Jar Jar Binks, dude. This looks freaking great, man. Also, a terrific figure, and probably one of the best figures. This Jar Jar, very hated on character, but this is one of the best figures ever. Definitely top 10 best figure in the entire Black Series line, bar none, in my opinion. And last but damn sure not least, my favorite Jedi of all time in all of Star Wars, Qui-Gon Jinn. And this looks so badass, dude. Absolutely love the way this looks. Terrific, dude. Dude, the only thing I'm missing is Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would make this so freaking perfect, man. But now, honestly, now that we have her, I would really like to see Captain Panaka in the Black Series, or even some Naboo guards like TVC has. That would be such a freaking dope way to flesh out even more representation for Episode 1. Well, that pretty much wraps up this review. I probably sound like a broken record, but I'm saying it again because I mean it. I'm just so stoked and pleased that we're finally getting some Episode 1 love, some sequel love from Hasbro, from the Black Series, because we just don't have a whole lot of representation for this era of Star Wars, that being the prequels. And to me, it's just such a nostalgic part of Star Wars because I was a kid and I was growing up around the time it was coming out. I obviously grew up with the OT as well, but the prequels hold a special place in my heart because me and my brother grew up watching them. And these figures are just terrific and fantastic representations for these characters, and super happy to finally have them in my collection. Been long sought after, long wanted in the Black Series, and I just can't say good enough things, man. Super happy and extremely stoked to finally have these. But that wraps it up for today's review. I appreciate all you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Hope you're all having a good day or night whenever you're watching this, and may the Force be with you.